Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. What will propel the new global reserve currency is liquidity. If the BRICS are successful, they could usher in a new era of global finance. Just think, Europe's MiCA regulations is implementing asset reference tokens. So it looks like the BRICS, now that they're going to back their new currency with gold and a basket of commodities, the rest of the world is now going to start to push in this direction. Remember when the central banks were buying up all that gold? That's what this was leading to. Gold-backed currency is coming. Gold can be officially revalued to $10,000 as liquidity enters the system. Take a listen.
The price of gold always follows the amount of, liquidity in the system, the amount of money in circulation, the amount of debt. Based on this ratio, gold could go much higher. And in a official, more formal gold revaluation plan where gold is being reintroduced into the system, you could expect gold being revalued even north of $10,000 per ounce.
So he said north of $10,000 per ounce. Now, I always said it, XRP does not need to be backed by gold when it's moving the value of gold. And there's going to be a lot of gold-backed currency moving around the world. And that time is coming. And even the Fed knows that once a gold-backed currency, say we go to a gold-backed dollar, that would end the Fed. So after the Federal Reserve quietly admitted gold is replacing the US dollar, the IMF has warned of a striking decline in the US dollar share of allocated foreign reserves of central banks and governments. Once a gold-backed currency hits the market, every country is going to go in this direction, including the United States. This is what could end the Fed. Think of a new treasury dollar backed by actual gold. Could you imagine how the value of what things would be going forward? Imagine you go to work and you get paid less dollars, but those dollars have way more buying power. As the BRICS summit kicks off, top lawmakers are pushing the idea that Russian miners could sell their Bitcoin to international buyers who would use Bitcoin and other crypto to pay for imports, effectively bypassing Western sanctions. This isn't good, because once you see them talking about this, they will eventually take action on this. I think we're going to start to see bans on Bitcoin. I think that is where we are headed, because other countries will go in this direction. This is the elected Bitcoin Pope. Heed his words. You're never going to get $100 trillion to flow into Bitcoin if its use case is directly against the interest of a government. You don't want to be that good. If somebody wants privacy, maybe you need a Monero. He doesn't want you holding your own keys as a Bitcoin investor. Didn't I tell you a shift was coming with Michael Saylor? Every time Michael Saylor says he's buying all this Bitcoin, the price seems to go down. Well, if he's buying all this Bitcoin, don't you think the price would be going up? And now all of a sudden he wants you to trust the government. The direction this is going in, I always said it. Bitcoin is competition to a CBDC. Once a CBDC comes, they are going to somehow push Bitcoin either to a very cheap price where people would lose interest in it, or they will just outlaw it from being utilized inside these countries, because they're not going to have competition to a CBDC. Denmark becomes the first country in the world to tax unrealized capital gains on crypto. Starting January 1st, 2026, the tax on unrealized capital gains is 42%. This will affect not only crypto acquired from that date, but also crypto obtained as far back as the Genesis block of Bitcoin, January 2009. The gloves are off. This is a war on crypto. This is going to make a lot of people sell their crypto, and they're going to have to sell it just to cover the unrealized capital gains. And what's the US going to do next? They're already pushing that idea of unrealized capital gains. That's the worst thing that could ever come about, because it doesn't only affect crypto. Think about the house that you buy. Okay, if you buy your house years ago, all of a sudden, you're going to have a massive tax bill. Most likely, you're going to be selling your house just to cover the taxes. And I think it puts us on the path to you will own nothing and be happy. But, you know, country after country is now raising the capital gains. And, you know, that's one thing. Raising the capital gains is one thing, because the only time you would be on the hook is if you sold the actual asset. Unrealized capital gains is gains that you get even if you don't sell. HSBC launches virtual EUR and GBP accounts for overseas merchants. And we know HSBC is also working with Ripple. So they launched a new cross-border virtual account proposition for banks worldwide, enabling their merchant business customers trading on e-commerce sites to receive EUR and GBP payments via their local bank account. I want to see where this goes from here. I'm sure we're going to get more word on this as time goes on, because this is still early, and this is more for merchants. Eventually, this will go to their retail customers as well. Here is some VND news for you, and it is BFD. Vietnam officially launches its national blockchain strategy on October 22nd, aiming to become a leader in blockchain technology across Asia by 2030. The strategy outlines key steps for Vietnam to develop blockchain platforms, products, and services within the country, and targets the creation of 20 reputable blockchain brands by 2025. So they want to improve the legal environment, building blockchain infrastructure, developing human resources, promoting research and international cooperation, and encouraging the growth of blockchain applications. This is going to be very big. They also work with SBI, and they also TPB Bank, first in Vietnam to join Ripple Payments Network. They've been working with Ripple ever since back in 2021. So Vietnam already has Ripple rails inside, and they just joined the BRICS. You take notice, all the countries that are joining BRICS already has Ripple rails inside. And that didn't happen by coincidence. Those countries were already building out their networks, and most of the Ripple networks are just plug and play. So BRICS could just plug those countries into their existing network. I'm telling you, this is going to be big going forward. Bullish, the battle against inflation is almost won, says the IMF chief economist. Take a listen.
The battle against inflation is almost won. After peaking at 9.4% year on year in the third quarter of 2022, we now project headline inflation will fall to 3.5% by the end of next year. In most countries, inflation is now hovering close to central bank target.
So they're already expecting inflation to fall next year. And that could also be very good for crypto. I'm telling you, 2025 is going to be a massive run up for crypto. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money in this space. XRP price has already been set by the IMF, and it's in the thousands. Take a listen to Black Swan Capitalist.
When we talk about the price of XRP, we have to look at the debt. And central banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they found a solution, which is blockchain. They actually are going to, in my opinion, based on the research, and also I can confirm this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before all this integration started to happen. So this was a few years ago. They agreed upon a price, and I got a lot of information from Linda P. Jones has a friend who worked at the Central Bank of Australia, and she said that they agreed upon a price, and it's in the thousands. Now, when we again talk about the XRP price, we have to look at the global debt, the incentive for central banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to utilize this liquidity, source of liquidity from XRP to facilitate, transparency. Moving into the digital economy, this is what they're going to be using. XRP is a financial instrument to serve the global economy.
So what do you think? Do you think the price is already set by the IMF? I talked about ESDRs, and I said if XRP was to become an ESDR, we would be looking at $1,000 XRP. But he made a great point there, because the one thing nobody looks at is the debt. They always look at cross-border payments, they look at tokenization, but nobody looks at the debt. And a massive liquidity crisis is still coming. Out of control spending by your government must stop. Global public debt will hit $100 trillion by year end, says the IMF. And the IMF is already looking for a solution to this. XRP, because of the on-demand liquidity that it provides, can be the solution to this. So maybe the price is set by the IMF. Now, he said the price is in the thousands. And the BIS also is looking to utilize XRP in multiple ways, because you see it in all of their white papers. And the BRICS are also working with the BIS. Things are going to get very interesting from here. US building on the XRP ledger is not only to leverage cheaper and faster payments, but also for its minimal environmental impact. Unlike Bitcoin's proof of work, which consumes an immense 127 TWh annually, akin to the entire countries like Norway. The XRP ledger's efficient consensus protocol uses only a fraction of that energy. I said early on, when I first started talking about XRP, I said it might not be a problem now how energy consuming Bitcoin is, but it's going to be a problem going forward, especially once carbon credits start coming. Think about all the people mining Bitcoin having to buy carbon offsets and carbon credits to mine Bitcoin. But I wonder why Monerex took a jab at Bitcoin. And they're going to be the first Web3 bank on the XRP ledger. I think they're going to open up passive income options for XRP holders. We're never going to have to sell our XRP in the future. We are going to get enough in passive income to buy all the things we ever wanted to buy, especially if the price of XRP is already set by the IMF and the BIS. And David Schwartz says it cannot be cheap. So think about that. I'm sure David already knows where the price of XRP is going. And it's hard to see it as a retail investor when it's sitting around 50 some cents. Everybody always says, well, the market cap of XRP has to be X amount of dollars for that to happen. But market cap really doesn't matter when you're holding a cryptocurrency that has actual world utility, worldwide use case. Think about what XRP is built to do. It's built to move money from one country to another in a matter of seconds. It's built to provide liquidity in places that lack liquidity. That liquidity crisis is going to be massive once it gets here, and they're going to need a solution. And we, as XRP holders, are holding that solution. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.